What is up, HC kids? My name is Steven. I'm the HC Youth Director at Heritage, which means I get to hang out with our middle and high school students, and I am so excited to be bringing you guys today's daily drop. I feel like after you say that, it should be like "Bwah, bwah, 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 bwah," like daily drop, like a bass drop, like "Bwah, bwah, bwah, bwah," like really low or something. Maybe we can put that in like editing or something. But anyways, welcome to Daily Drop. Hope you guys are enjoying some time home, a lot of time home, nothing but time home, it turns out. But I'm glad we get to do this, kind of share some ideas. I'm excited to be part of it. Um, and man, I love today's passage that we get to look at because I think it's such a cool thing. I think sometimes we can have a hard time telling what people want from us. I don't know if you ever felt that before, but sometimes it feels like people have an expectation for us, something like they want us to act a certain way or do a certain thing, but they won't tell us exactly what they want us to do. Maybe you've had a friend like that or a teacher or something where they're like, be on your best behavior. And you're like, well, what does that mean necessarily? Like, my best might not be so good. It should be good. Don't use this as an excuse, right? Or maybe you've had a friend who like is mad at you and you can't tell why, and they're like, it's because of how you're acting, and you're like, how am I acting? What do you want me to do? Well, God actually lays out for us exactly how He wants us to be living our lives in a way that's going to please Him. He makes it really easy. He doesn't leave us guessing. And so the passage we're going to look at comes from this book called Micah, and it's Micah 6:8. And it says, the Lord has shown you what is good. He has told you what He requires of you. You must act with justice. You must love to show mercy, and you must be humble as you live in the sight of your God. So, three things he lays out. He says, act with justice, which basically means for us to treat others fairly, right? Acting with justice means that we're living in a way where we treat others fairly. He tells us to show mercy, right? And the idea of he actually tells us to love to show mercy, which means that we love to choose kindness and forgiveness when we're interacting with people. Choosing kindness and forgiveness is how we show mercy. And then he tells us to be humble, to live humbly. And that means that he wants us to work hard at putting others first, right? So those three things, right? Um, Acting with justice, loving to show mercy, and being humble as we live in the sight of our God, meaning that God is watching us and He wants to see us live in a way we're putting others first, not thinking of ourselves first. So, how do we practically do this? What do we do? Oh, this is my cat Nova. He's joining us today. Say hi, Nova. Nova, how do you live humbly? Help me tell the people. Nova's going to help me for the rest of the video until he decides to leave. Right, but I got a couple ideas of how you could do this. Maybe some thoughts on that, right? The idea of treating others fairly. Right now, we're stuck at home. So what does it look like for us to treat other fairly? Maybe it's giving someone else a turn at a game you're playing or something you're doing. Um, Come on, Nova. You ever had to do something with a cat before? My goodness. Maybe it's including, so the idea of treating others fairly. Maybe it means giving someone else a turn. Maybe it means including a sibling in something that you're doing, right? Instead of just doing it by yourself, letting your sibling do it with you. Or maybe even just playing in a way that makes what you're doing fun for everyone, right? Sometimes we can get so wrapped up in winning or we can be mad. We never like when someone treats us unfairly, but we're sometimes willing to be unfair if it helps us to win or get ahead. And God's calling us not to live that way. We're supposed to do things fairly and justly. That means no cheating. That means no getting mad when we lose, right? They're simple things, but it's what God calls us to do. He also tells us to love showing mercy, to choose kindness, right? And I think there's so many opportunities for us to choose kindness right now, whether that's not getting mad at a sibling or being more patient with a sibling who's maybe bothering us, or even if our parents are letting us do what we want to do, being understanding and kind to them can go a long way. And then the idea of living humbly, putting others before ourselves, working hard on doing that. Ask yourself, what are some things I can be doing that I normally don't? Maybe it's cleaning up after dinner, um, playing what your sibling wants to play instead of what you want to play, or even like helping clean up around the house. They're small things, but they can make such a big impact. And that's all it takes. It doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be crazy. God lays out for us three big things we can do. He tells us to act with justice, show mercy, be humble, And if we do those things, we know that we're living in a way that's honoring and making God happy, which is so cool. So, HC kids, I want to challenge you guys to be thinking about that today and this week, how you can be doing that. I want you guys to share your own thoughts and your own observations on that verse. What stands out to you? And if your name is David, I want you to especially be doing this. I'm looking at you, David. I'm just kidding. I picked a random name and David felt like a good call. But if your name's David, you have to like this video. It's the rule now. All right. HC kids, you guys have a good day. Nova says so too. He's sorry for knocking the computer over. He's not happy about this. He's shining in the sunlight. But have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.